Another reason to take Social Security early. All right, so I just got off the horn with a guy out in Colorado. Good guy, single, no kids, not married, retired last year. Excuse me, I gotta quit smoking. I don't smoke. Something went down the wrong pipe. And we're just crunching some numbers. Let me cough again. Hold on a second. I gotta make sure it's not alcohol. Ooh, nope. So it went down the wrong pipe. I'm like, oof, man, making me feel like I'm drunk. No, it's not. It's completely alcohol free. Bubbly, buble, whatever they call that. Bubbly. Anyway, so I'm talking to this guy. He just likes to golf. He's lost, I think he said like 25, 30 pounds or something like that. No longer on any diabetes medicine because he went low carb diet. The guy's just crushing. His brother and his dog lives nearby. He's freaking kicking ass. Anyway, so his question was, should he wait until he's 70 to take Social Security? This guy is 62, I think, this year, 61, 60. I think he's 60. I think he's 62 this year. And so he's like, should he just not take it earlier? Now, we don't want to take it now. And the reason we don't want to take it now is because he's on Obamacare and he's getting the credits. He's living... he has a small pension, about $1,800 a month, so he's getting about $22,000 a year from that small pension. And we don't want to take much more than that to violate the Obamacare credits. He spends about $3,500 a month. So he spends about $42,000 a year, add a couple extra thousand for taxes, roughly about $45,000 a year. So he needs about $22,000 from his IRA to make ends meet and to keep the Obamacare subsidies. So he's taking about $22,000 from his pension. $22,000 is coming from his IRA. He did a major Roth conversion last year, so he has, literally little taxes. And I'll go into Right Capital, show what I'm talking about. Again, you don't know who this guy is, and I've shielded his name to protect the innocent. But the point being, he's like, why should I just not go ahead and wait to take it at 65? We don't want to take it now because we want him to drain his IRA. Just so that way, once RMDs come, there'll be very little RMDs, very little taxes. But anyway, so the point is, yeah, why not? Why not? He's healthier now than he was when he's working, as is the case a lot, actually, with people I talk to, because the work is so damn stressful. But, the likelihood of him surviving beyond 85 isn't very high. And so, really, in this case, we're just looking at break evens, and frankly, it's just... So let's dive into this. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So here's his plan, taking Social Security at 70, leaving downstream $1.28 million, or taking it at 65, downstream living $1.19 million. And I'm only giving him 5.5% rate of return with a 14% standard deviation. So we're not, he just doesn't spend that much, man. So with Social Security and his pension, that's probably more than enough to live on. Yeah, with that said, we don't know. It's nice to have some money left out on the side. But still, he just doesn't spend that much. He has no debt, by the way. He's got a house. And this does not include the house either. This is just his retirement, his investable assets. So here's his tax if he takes Social Security at 65. Look at that. With his Social Security and his pension and no RMDs because everything is a Roth, he's less than 5% effective tax rate. Now, there's 1 year he's up there because he's got his IRA taken out plus his pension plus his Social Security at this stage. So for 1 year, he'll be above 15%. But notice that's at 66. So he doesn't have to worry about Obamacare premium credits anymore. Look at that. Still under a 10% effective tax rate with Social Security at 65. So this right here, 65 and 66, he'll have the highest taxes that he'll ever have simply because Social Security, pension, and his IRA distributions. But I just want to go back to this again. Look at this. Hardly any, what's that, $90,000 difference of money leaving downstream. That's just not that big of a deal. This is tax if he takes Social Security at 70. Notice he doesn't ever hit quite the same single. Let me see if I can't make. Yeah, there we go. So this is taken. Let's see. There we go. There we go. So this right here is taking Social Security at 70. This is taken at 65. And we're going to get about 16% effective tax rate in that year 66. yeah, 66 and about 14 or so, 14 or so in 65. Here he never even breaks 10% until he's 66 years old. But then because he hasn't, there you go. But then because Social Security is coming in at 70, plus he'll have his pension, but Social Security is more at this stage. He'll actually raise his tax a little bit. Not, I mean, literally, it's looking at still under 6%. It's not a big deal. It's just a matter of preference in this regard, except for the fact that hold harmless provisions of Medicare. All right, so hold harmless provisions. I've done videos on it. Look it up. I'm not going to explain it very well right now. It's off the head. But anyway, hold harmless provision. If you are not on Medicare and if you're not on Social Security and you're on Medicare, if Medicare raises premium significantly, there's a limit to how much your premium can be if you're on Social Security, how much it can be raised if you're on Social Security. For Medicare recipients, if you're a Medicare recipient and have yet to file for Social Security, that you can end up holding a wet bag, big time. And so in this case, you're like, all right, the likelihood of that happening is not high, but it could, and it affects you for the rest of your life. Again, look at the videos I've done on that. Other people have done videos on it as well. Point being is, if you're 65 and defer Social Security, now you're on Medicare, you're a beneficiary. If the beneficiary, if the Medicare premiums go through the roof, because you're on Social Security, you're hold harmless to any significant increases as a unit as a whole, as everybody else out there. But if you're not on Social Security, you can pay the full swoop. And it can be pretty devastating. Again, you got to look at that hold harmless provisions. So that's a risk of not being on Social Security at 65 years old. All right. Now, there's the likelihood of that happening. I don't think it's high, but it could. The likelihood of him living beyond his life expectancy, let's say 82, 83, and thus losing out for Social Security because the break-even age is about between 80 and 82, depending on your age. Well, that's small potatoes, but the more immediate concern would be the Medicare hold harmless things. Hope that makes sense. All right, so let's keep going. All right, here's his cash flows. $24,000 a year coming in. That's from his pension. He's got his distribution from his IRA. His $46,000 is his total income. $42,000 is expenses. $4,400 in taxes. So not. I mean, you can see it right there. Just pretty simple stuff, which is good. Keep it simple, stupid. All right. So basically, he's drawing down his IRA. So he's got a 10% effective tax rate right here. 10%, 10%, a little bit more than 10, a little bit more than 10. A little bit more than 10. And then you can see down here is when Social Security kicks in. Now between his pension and Social Security, he's got $77,000 coming in, but he's only got $58,000 going out. So he's got netting $18,000 a year. That's $1,500 a month he's not spending. I mean, that's nothing wrong with that, but it's kind of like, I mean, it's one thing if you run out of money. It's a whole different thing if you're not even consuming that. All right, hold on a second. So here we are taking his IRA out and taking Social Security right there. So you can see his taxes or his income went from $25,000 to $50,000 because Social Security's kicking in. And you can see these are the two big tax years he has because he has Social Security, his IRA, and his pension. And what we're doing is that IRA will be exhausted by the time he's 68. So in this case, he probably won't even need to take this money from his IRA, frankly. I mean, he could, but it won't really matter. So he probably would say, I don't need that. Social Security's kicking in. Maybe I'll take $10,000 as opposed to a full 28. That's actually a pretty good strategy. Take the $10,000 as opposed to full $28,000. That way you can spread out longer and spread your tax out. Either way, he's got, what's that, $2 million of inflows, $78,000 of taxes. I mean, just here he's got $2.2 million of inflows, $74,000 of taxes. I mean, just there's really no reason for him to save Social Security until he's 70. Not if you're single, man. If you're married, just go ahead and take it. I mean, if you're single, just freaking take it when you take Medicare. I mean, obviously, your situation is different than this guy's, and whose is different than that guy's. But by and large, if you're single, it's tough to make a case not to take Social Security once you're on Medicare. Every case is unique, but this is one of the reasons you should at least consider it. Love to hear your thoughts. We'll see you.